So I don't do this often, but I figured I was gonna make a video talking about something that kind of, like, bugs me, I guess. I've always wanted to make videos like these, but I didn't because I simply don't do that. I figured since I didn't do it for so long, if I made a video like this, people would be like, what are you doing, Jim? Why are you just talking about stuff? Why are you just saying random things about topical situations? Well, fuck you. I have nowhere else to share this, so I feel like I want to share it. Eat shit. Specifically, today I want to talk about VideoGameDunkey's new publishing company, Big Mode. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the fuck is Big Mode? Like, I've never heard of this before. That's because it's brand new, and it's an indie game publisher that is just focused on getting good indie games out there. That's like its entire purpose. That is the whole reason it's made. Now, normally you'd see this news and be like, well, that's pretty cool. New indie game publishing company. That's what I can't see a negative of that. You know, that's pretty cool. But if you're on Twitter, you'd see a lot of negatives. While Dunkey on Twitter is very happy about the situation, is excited to see the future of this new company and indie gaming as a whole, there are many others who don't feel the same way. A lot of people are using this chance to joke about the fact that Dunkey doesn't like RPGs, and that because of that there won't be any RPGs on the actual indie game publishing company, despite the fact that he has stated many RPGs he does like before. So it's a little disingenuous to say that. And there are also some people who brought up the fact that Dunkey doesn't have any publishing experience, so this is like not something he could just jump in and expect to be the best at, right? So I completely understand that. This is just a YouTuber that suddenly decided to publish video games. There's obviously going to be some concerns and questions about the situation, right? Like, people are going to wonder why this is, like, you know, happening, why he thinks that this is going to go well just because he has money. But from my personal perspective, I think this is just someone who has a lot of money and a big reach, who is pouring that into video games and letting indie games get bigger because of that. And I can't see that as anything but a win, personally. However, the majority of people are upset about a statement he made in his video where you came off as very cocky about the whole situation, how his opinion of video games tend to be the peak as his idea. So let's check that out real quick.
Been on YouTube for 11 years now, and one of the core themes of my channel has always been to slam dunk soulless cash grabs into the garbage can and lift up and praise the truly inspired works of art in this medium. For years and years and years, I have always sought out the very best indie games out there and have tried to do them justice, putting millions of eyes on the games that actually deserve attention. Enter the Gungeon, Hollow Knight, Celeste, Cuphead, Undertale, Lisa, Neon White, Rocket League. My best of the year videos are constantly loaded up with indie game recommendations like Hades, Speedrunners, Monolith, Fury, Into the Breach, Superhot, Inscription, Downwell, Ori. For gamers that actually play and care about video games, my channel is where they come to find out what's actually worth playing.
Now, it's important to note there that he does say that, like, you know, gamers come to his channel to find out what's worth playing. I don't think that's true at all. I think a lot of people come to his channel because it's, you know, funny content, and that's a big deal about it. But I don't think it's right to completely write off his channel's impact on video games. If you could see these videos, for an example, the Undertale video has 18 million views. Say, for an example, an 18th of the people who watched this video decided this is a really cool video. This is a sick game. I'm gonna buy it. That's 1 million people who just bought Undertale. Obviously, it would never be that many, I think. But, like, you know, it's an insane amount, and definitely shows that he has the ability to reach audiences and just promote games further, which is a honestly valuable tactic to have as a publisher. He has the capital, the money to, you know, to help develop the games. He has the reach to go push them onwards and advertise them. So what I'm thinking is this seems like a pretty good idea. I do agree that this is an insanely cocky thing to say. You know, my video game opinion and how good I am at having opinions of video games is my asset in publishing. But he's not entirely wrong. When it comes to indie games, he doesn't have the worst track record of actually picking some of them out. There are people stating that in Dunkey's little thing of talking about indie games that he has looked into and ones he thought were amazing, he basically listed some of the most popular indie games of all time. Whereas this could easily be misconstrued as, oh, this guy's just picking the big populars, you know, what the easy picks. He doesn't have an opinion of his own, is pretty bad at this kind of stuff. This immediately gets defuncted when you look at one of the Celeste developers' tweets. This developer actually states that he thinks Dunkey has a good eye for fun design, and if he wants to throw money at indie devs, why not? Sure, they might hit some hard realities making games, but that's how you learn, and that's completely true. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's something wrong with stating that this is, like, you know, a learning lesson, if anything, if it is, like, you know, a difficult situation, but I can't see how this is a negative because there's just more money into indie devs, right? If a developer at Celeste agrees that he has a good eye for games, what the hell does random Joe on Twitter.com have in response? And I also think it's important, as the developer says, to be skeptical about, you know, publisher dynamics with developers and the power dynamics there. But if he is offering, like, you know, creative control, as he states he is, then this is, you know, pretty freaking sick, I think. And when it comes to people saying he only jumps on the bandwagon of indie games after they've already become popular, you can see that's not the case with Celeste, because as stated by the developer, he was there way before it came out, followed it for a year after, and made a day one video on it because he liked the demo. So him using it as an example makes complete sense of an example of a game he thought was gonna do good, and he used his knowledge of video games to promote that further, and look what happened. Celeste is a hit. Some of the memes have honestly been pretty terrific, but the point ultimately is, why would you want this company to fail? I can't see a single reason where it'd benefit anyone if the company failed, aside from being like, haha, that VideoGameDunkey got fucked, which is like, yeah, I guess funny, but like, you know, I'm on the side of indie developers here, you know what I mean? And if this is more money for indie developers, then what the fuck am I gonna complain about? This is a good thing. And for some reason, there's still this debate about like how he doesn't like RPG games, and because of that, he shouldn't, you know, be allowed to publish games, because, you know, he wrote off the entire RPG genre, so like, you know, don't let him publish games. You know how many games don't publish RPGs? Like, how many publishers don't do that? There's a lot of them. Now, I agree we have to drop the whole thing about, like, you know, having opinions of games, meaning you know anything about the development of games. But I also agree that if even one indie game gets out of this, one indie game that wouldn't have made it otherwise, you know, one that wouldn't have gotten the funding, wouldn't have been even produced in any sort of way, gets funding out of this through Dunkey's publishing company, then this is success. Because that's one person's dream that actually got to make it. One person's dream that got to be fully funded, released, and finally envisioned. And that's a victory, even if it's one. A lot of people are still debating about the whole Xenoblade thing with Dunkey, but who gives a shit? You know, that's a whole different beast in itself. A man made a video about Xenoblade and didn't like it, and then posted a spoiler on Twitter, which was fucked up, by the way. Don't post spoilers on Twitter like that. That being said, though, I don't see why that has anything to do with the publishing company at all. I think it's really stupid to be wishing this to fail when this is just more money into indie game developers, and I think it's just kind of dumb to like be against this as a whole. This is more money for indie game developers. This is more indie games. This is just a benefit. This is just a benefit. I can't see like an actual negative here. The only negative I can see is it failing, because then that would, you know, be shitty for indie game companies. That'd be shitty for VideoGameDunkey. It would just be shitty. VideoGameDunkey may have criticized your favorite Scrunko game, but it doesn't mean that you have to like be totally against this publishing company idea, you know? This is just, again, more money for indie games. And if you disagree with that, then I don't know what you want. You seem to just want suffering and negativity, which is, I guess, a lot of Twitter. The point of this video is nothing. I just got annoyed about something, I want to talk about it, and I want to do more of these type of videos where sometimes I'll just see something on the internet, get a little bit annoyed, and want to talk about it. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you liked it. I hope you think it was pretty cool. If you didn't like it, make sure to comment something like, I don't know, Jimmy Bim drown. And then if you liked it, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all that kind of stuff, the usual, the cute stuff, I think. Let me know what you think about the publishing company. Maybe you don't agree, maybe you do agree. I would like to hear other opinions as well, because I am just kind of shouting shit out in the open like this. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, be brave, my little bimmers, and remember that if you're not running right now, I'm coming for you.